Hello, I'm Tracy Geisel of INDYCAR.
And I'm Karen May of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
We're pleased to announce that INDYCAR will recognize Breast Cancer Awareness Month by waving a pink flag to start the season-ending 500-mile race at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California.
It's a great way to recognize the two of us and all of the women in treatment for breast cancer and the millions of survivors.
Each woman undergoing treatment has a story to tell. Here is ours. So I'm 38 years old. I have stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma, similar to Karen. I found mine through a self-examination, which I routinely do. I had finished a run with a friend and was in the shower and felt it. But like any mom, it was close to bedtime and my kids needed to get to bed, and I thought maybe I bumped myself. So it didn't hurt. So the next day, I didn't say anything that night, but the next day, I was getting ready for bed, felt the same mass, called my husband. Next day I called the doctor, went into my OB for a check, who then ordered a mammogram. Had my mammogram on a Monday, had a biopsy on a Thursday, and I had a diagnosis by Friday. So within a week and a half, I went from running my kids to soccer, football, very active at church, very active at work, to the air leaving the room to, oh my God, I could die. It was very scary and literally turned our world upside down, certainly, and that was on August the 9th.
Well, I was diagnosed April 12th through my screening mammogram that I get annually with stage 1 invasive ductal breast cancer. I had surgery June 3rd, a partial mastectomy to remove the lump, and then I started chemotherapy in mid-July. I have 7 chemo treatments to go, only 7 more weeks. I'm pretty happy about that. That'll follow up with 6 weeks of radiation, and then springtime I'll be home free. I've had great support from family and friends and coworkers, and it was really only because of my screening mammogram that it was even found as early as it was, and my prognosis is great.
You know, I have a lot to live for. I have 2 beautiful children. They're 8 and 12. I have a loving husband. I have a great job. I have tons of family and support, and I want to be here. So my option of not fighting is not an option. So at this stage, we're all about buying percentages, and whatever that means and whatever that takes, we're going to do that. But certainly having a positive attitude. We have found a lot of humor, believe it or not, in this diagnosis. There's constant laughter at our house, constant flow of text messages, emails. I have a Caring Bridge site that people post things on. And without that, you know, it would make it really hard. I will say that I go to IU West, the Simon Cancer Center, and the support there has been phenomenal. From the day of diagnosis, we didn't leave the oncology visit without 4 more appointments. I had met with a social worker because we didn't know how we were going to tell our children and our family. I was at a support group meeting the following week. They have really put us in a cocoon and made us feel like we are their only patient. So I'm, doing all of the treatments as well as support group. We also have meals being delivered by family and friends. It has really renewed our faith in people. I'm so overwhelmed by the outpouring of support at this point. It's been amazing.
I go to the Brennan Melvin Simon Center downtown for treatments, and I've seen some incredible people there, and I've met incredible people there who are struggling with even bigger things than I am. And I have girlfriends that go with me every week to my chemo treatments just to keep me company, and family that brings food and it cheers me up when I'm down. Couldn't do it without all of them.
Self-examination is so important. If I hadn't found it, my cancer is what's considered a grade 3. Because of my age, it's very aggressive. If I hadn't gone to my doctor, which would have been probably 9 months later, my story may be very different. It may be stage 3 or stage 4. It may have metastasized and spread. And that's very scary. That's a much different conversation than a stage 2 diagnosis that I was able to find. I mean, I've essentially saved my own life. So self-exams are so important, as well as your annual mammogram. I can't stress it enough.
I probably wouldn't have found mine at stage 1 had I not been having my annual screening mammogram. It wasn't palpable, so I couldn't have found it with just self-checks. So I think it's very important.